Morning guys, just got up and I'm going to head on a ride this morning just before my first full weekend back at Nitschke doing opens. Had our first full week back in the office this week. It's been really good. And the latter half of the week we've been onboarding a new agent who's joined our team, Aiden, which has been going really well, and just trying to fit in the routine again, trying to get back into as much training as I can. I've got 6 weeks until I'm in Thailand for this ride, so I've got to keep the Ks going. Got a new arrival, this one here, this Rock Rose pouch for my bike, which I'm pretty excited about. I want to try and vlog as much as I can this year, but I also want to try and vlog my Thailand ride because I just think that's going to be an unreal experience. So this is going to help me hopefully to be able to strap all of my gear into my bike as I go, and then I can easily whip the camera out if I've got any thoughts or anything I want to capture along the way. See how we go. Epic morning for a ride, but how's the Corellas? Can you hear them? They're like the noisiest bird of all time. You always see them here at this park. Unreal. Well, that's another ride done and dusted. Just fit in for my opens. I just did like an hour, which is just over 20 Ks. I'm getting there with the training. Like, I've got 6 weeks left until this ride, and I've never done anything like this before. I think the thing that I'm probably a bit more nervous about is probably the humidity over in Thailand. Like, I think it's going to be pretty hot and humid. I know we start early in the morning to try and make the best of it, but yeah, it'll be interesting dealing with the heat over there. So in terms of training, so in December leading into Christmas, I was doing sort of 50 to 60, or training Ks I should say, a week, and I'm sort of trying to notch that up a little bit more now. I'd love to try and get that towards 100 Ks a week, I think. Obviously when I'm over in Thailand, it's going to be 100 Ks roughly a day. So it's 700 Ks in 7 days. We've got a couple of days where it's a little bit less than that, and then a couple of days it's a little bit more. But the way they run the ride, it's raising money for charity. That's the most important thing for Hands Across the Water. So we're not like trying to race and set records over there, but what they do is they break up the ride into stints. So we'll be doing basically 20K roughly stints, stopping for a break, refueling, cooling down with some water, and then doing the next one. So that's why I've been trying to kind of do lots of 20K stints like that, and just getting more and more comfortable. I can do that pretty comfortably now. But yeah, I just think I need to incorporate a bit more of it in the week, just so that I can really make sure I'm as ready as I can be with 6 weeks left to go. Something that has been a bit disheartening this week is, well, really over the last couple of weeks, is I haven't been able to have any donations at all. So I've certainly been putting the word out there. I think part of it's probably just that it's the new year. I think a lot of people are waiting to get paid again after Christmas and just get settled back in, and probably away doing other things as well during school holidays. But really keen. I've still got over $3,000 to raise for my fundraising goal, and I really want to hit it. Like, it's such an important target. It's going to make such an incredible difference to these kids over there. So yeah, I just hope, it doesn't have to be. I think sometimes when you watch these videos where people are like, hey, or they come up to you and they're like, hey, can you donate? And you're like, oh, I don't really want to give you heaps of money, or I don't have a lot of money right now. Like, the impact of even like $5 or $10, $20, it doesn't have to be a substantial donation, because it's just like that momentum that's created by lots of people just giving what they can, So if you're watching this and you're able to give, I would absolutely love it. But forget me, it's Hands Across the Water, digital live ride, and ultimately the kids in Thailand that are truly going to be incredibly grateful beyond belief for whatever you can do. Okay, let's get ready for opens. Okay, arrived at our first open at a place in Nan. Already pretty warm today. It's 28, and I think it's going to get up to about 33. So I got the polo shirt on today. Too hot for a suit. But yeah, I've just pulled up. I'm early for the open. The guys are already here, and it looks like it's going to be pumping today. It's going to be a busy open. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we go. First open done, and it's a good one. We had 27, was it 27 groups? 28 groups. So this is a place in Nan, and price point sort of early sevens, and yeah, I think we'll get some really good offers and interest from that, and get a great result for the owner, which is awesome. They're a lovely couple that own this one, and yeah, It's been a property that they've had for many years, ready to sell it. It was good to catch up with James and Aidan and have a good result today. On to the next one. So leadership letters. I want to talk about leadership letters. This is my weekly email list that I started. I started this just over 12 months ago now. And the reason why I started it is, if I go back a step actually. So I'm the leader of a small business, a real estate business in South Australia in the Adelaide Hills. And my leadership journey started really abruptly just over 6 years ago when my late father suddenly passed away. He was the principal and owner of the business. I was about 30 years old at the time, and I just lost my mum. My mum and dad had separated a long time before that, but I'd lost my mum as well about 18 months before that. So it was a really tumultuous time in my life. Losing both parents at the age of 30, suddenly becoming the leader of the business, and there's a whole backstory behind that. But I became the leader of our business without any formal leadership training. I hadn't even really been shown at all the health of the business, like in terms of like the performance. I knew, I was a salesperson. I've been working in the business for a number of years, but I didn't realize just how bad the financials were. And in fact, I never saw them until just before my dad passed away. Like I'm talking days before. It was a huge shock. And I found that we had 6 weeks of cash left and we were millions of dollars in debt. And what I mean by 6 weeks of cash is I mean like overdraft. Like I'm not talking we had our own money in the bank. That was all gone. This was still borrowed money, and we had 6 weeks left until that was all gone. And it was a real, it was like an instant MBA, it was like I was learning business on steroids. Like it was this intense period, and through a lot of effort and a lot of mistakes, wins along the way and everything in between, we're able to turn the business around. And within 2 years we were profitable, and then we rebranded to an independent agency. And then we basically from there, kept going with our Everest mission and our vision for the business. And it was during that period that the idea for writing my first book came via my wife initially. She said, this story is quite remarkable. You really should document it. And I thought it'd be really cool to do that for my daughters. So I've got 2 daughters, Peyton and Harper, and I thought they might like to read it one day. They probably won't, but hopefully they do. Because as well, for me, losing both parents at the age of 30, there's so many questions that I have about my parents that I'll never know, about them. And so I thought to write this kind of raw account of my life to date. So it's like a part memoir, but then also part business lessons, the business lessons I learned from having to turn around such a broken business so quickly in incredibly difficult circumstances, I thought could be really interesting for them. But then I realized it was starting to become a little bit bigger than that, and it could really impact other business leaders or people facing somewhat similar circumstances, trying to overcome trauma or things outside of their control. So Leading Out of Loss was born, and I launched my first book just over a year ago. And the response was amazing. I don't know what I really expected. I certainly didn't expect it to be a bestseller, and it certainly isn't. But the conversations that it opened up and the impact that it had on my business and on my personal brand and my personal life, and even just as a mental health thing, to be able to document such an important chapter, no pun intended, but a chapter of my life, and document that just meant that it really kind of bookended that period in my life really nicely. And it was a tough period, but I'm so grateful for it. The lessons that I've learned and the person I've become today is because of those experiences. So I'm never going to be upset about that or regret it. It's just part of life. And so now I'm kind of faced with, then after I launched the book, it was a massive high, obviously. And then it was well, what's next? I know that I'm so committed to my business, and I still am today. But I really, after thinking about it a lot and just considering my career and my life at that point, I really want to scale my business. And the appetite to grow and scale my business is not chasing a financial outcome. This journey never has been about that, but it's about, for me, impact. And so if I consider the vision of my business is to be the most authentic real estate agency and to deliver the most authentic real estate experience, and just that whole theme of authenticity, I thought it'd be really cool to try and document the journey just really raw and authentically for you guys around how I am trying to grow and scale my business. And I thought there's got to be other business leaders out there that are, whether you're in real estate head, or you could be in any industry really, and you're like the technician, you're on the tools, you're customer focused, customer facing, and your clients love you, but you realize that there's got to be another way of doing this so that you can grow and scale it to impact your industry in a greater way. Like real estate for me has got a shocking reputation. So if I can come up with a way to scale my business, recruit great people, have incredible systems, so that my role, because I love leadership so much, right? Like in developing, coaching people, if I can just be empowered to be more behind the scenes, providing incredible support and growth, that would be so cool. And so that's what I'm trying to do. So I guess through Leadership Letters, where I started with the intro here, like Leadership Letters is my free weekly email that you can subscribe to, and basically through that I share what I'm learning, the mistakes that I've made and the wins that we're having, and just little insights from a business owner. We're not a massive business as of time of recording. We're not small either. Like we employ 19 people, which is awesome. And I'm sure in the future with the goals that we have for the business, we're going to have a bigger and bigger team, and the challenges around that are going to emerge. And I just want to be able to share that with you guys. And my goal, I guess, with what I'm doing with all of this is, I guess where I want to take it is, I want to have a tribe of people that think similarly, whether they're business leaders trying to grow and scale their business, or they might be like me, like a girl dad. My wife and I have got 2 daughters, and just trying to do the juggle of being a present and involved father and teaching them what they need to know about life and being there for them and supporting them, but also growing and supporting my team. And even just a group of people that want to get better each day. Like one of the values of my business is literally that, to be better each day. And so a lot of content that I'll try and produce is around things that I'm learning around self-improvement and just being just that little bit better each day, and staying consistent around the things that I'm introducing into my life to do that. So whether that becomes down the track, some sort of course that I can release, it might be an online business community where we can all kind of collaborate together. I haven't really decided that yet, and that's part of my goals for 2025 is to work that out. But I'd love to take you on the journey with me and see what we can do. So yeah, if you're interested, if you go into the description of this video, I've got a quick link where you can get 30 lessons in 30 days from me. So an email each day where I tell you some of the things that I've been learning, and you can check in and learn about that, and then ultimately hear from me each week with new insights. So would love, if you're watching, to see you on that channel if you can, and see what we can create together. Just finished the next one, and a little bit quieter. This one's a little bit more expensive, price range kind of in that mid 1 millions, and we had 5 groups through, all new groups. So fingers crossed, some good conversations, and at least 1 or 2 groups there that I reckon will offer. So fingers crossed, the owners deserve it. Hopefully we can get a good outcome this weekend.
Hey, Morgan.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you.
That's the way, all finished up. It's starting to get a bit hot, so we timed it well. But 5 groups today, which we think is pretty good, really, like 5 new groups as well. All 5 hung around for like most of the open, which was really good. It was a husband and wife sort of combo, asking a lot of questions about like the offering process, and what they need to do if they like to take the next step. So that's really positive. So hopefully, like we were saying before the open, without panicking, but I think now, like obviously with new groups coming in, clearly the market's up and running again for the new year. So it's really like, okay, we should see an offer really in the next couple of weeks, I reckon. So hopefully we do.
Yeah, so if that hasn't happened, then we'll look at it. But I mean, like I said, I don't think we need to hit the panic button, because we've sort of come through that dead zone of Christmas, New Year's, even the 5th of December, sort of like pushing up to the moment, it's sort of, we might get one, we might not, but it's not really indicative of where we're at as such, I don't think.
I completely agree. I really do. So I think we just stay, poised and ready. And if it doesn't happen, obviously we'll know what to do. But hopefully we don't need to go there. Hopefully we get a good offer we can work with. Just some form of engagement and go from there. That's what we need. Yeah, because I think in total now that takes us to 39 groups through. So we're definitely, we've had numbers. So now it's like, okay, cool. Let's now see what number makes sense for people, and hopefully it's in our guide and we can jump on it. back at the office after a pretty productive day of open so far, which is good. Already starting to get some offers in, which is awesome. So I'm sure they'll end up with a few sales in the new week. Thanks for tuning in to this vlog and video. And yeah, I'd love for you to hit up the show notes if you're interested in my lessons series, my email series. It's totally free. It's raw and real. Just pop your email in, click the link, pop your email in, and I'll let you know straight away those lessons. And if you're not really an email person but you want to keep in touch with what I'm up to, hit the subscribe button on this channel. I'm aiming to produce lots of vlogs around just documenting the journey as we scale Nitschke Real Estate and continue to build an awesome business. Thanks guys, see you in the next video.